All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings out there uh, that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Um, this is going to be a lesson about Israelite foreigners because, that spirit's kind of going out via Apostle Ariamlab. So, I just thought I'd land back off of it. And, of course, a lot of scriptures come to mind. But I just wanted to do this real quick. Now, a lot of brothers use Conor McGregor as an example to show that, that Israelite spirit is in someone that, looks like a so-called white man or looks like an Edomite. And, matter of fact, this is a really good example because he's like one of the best UFC fighters. And, I thought I'd use him because he's gaining, he's coming back. He's making a comeback after that fight with Khabib, and then losing to Khabib. Now he's coming back after that fight with Cowboy. But check this out. There's a little bit more proof that you can see that he's got that Negroid features in him, man. Look at his nose, man. He's got that Negroid nose, even his lips. Got the bubble lips, Dumbo ears, man. That's just a little bit of proof that that so-called Negroids or the tribe of Judah, Benjamin and Levi, mingled with so-called white people, Edomites, in that land of Ireland, and really all of Europe, all over the world, all right, because it's prophesied to happen, all right. And then how he acts is nothing but a Jake, man. The way he talks shit, the way he fights, the way he dances. A heathen can't move like that, man. Heathens are stiff. They're whack as fuck. When you talk to a heathen, man, you get vexed trying to carry on a conversation with them. Because your jokes go over their head. They always want to talk about some dumb shit. But with a Jake, man, the conversation has rhythm. There's punchlines. There's deep conversations, man. But anyways, who gives a fuck about Conor McGregor though? I'll get the curses. I'll start with the curses because Deuteronomy the 28th. Salakia. Let's go to 64 or 68. 64, yeah. So, Deuteronomy 28, the curses that will fall upon Israel when they don't keep the commandments. The first 15 or 14 verses talk about the blessings that will fall on Israel when they keep the Lord's commandments. If you start at 15 on down, it talks about the curses. All right, I'll start at 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." And, you can read all of them. This is how we identify, an Israelite. All right, because all these curses. Hey, if you ever wonder why, you can never catch up in society, you're always subjected to payments. Why, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's because these curses are on you. All right. Verse 64, part of these curses, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." All right. And that's what happened. All right, just because of Ezekiel 39 and 23, it says this is a purpose of why the Lord did this. It says, "And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity." All right, He scattered us through all these different captivities. All right, diaspora. That's a good word. Diaspora or diaspora, however you say it. The definition of diaspora, it says the dispersion of the Jews beyond Israel, Jews living outside of Israel, the dispersion of any people from their original homeland. All right, and that's a good definition too, because like brothers always say that a lot of the Irish are Israelites, and that's how you know that that's part of the curses that's on them, because when you do your history on Ireland, you'll see that um, through their oppression via the English Parliament, they had their own diaspora. All right, whether it be the Irish transatlantic slave trade, because you had a lot of Irish that went into the West Indies. That's why brothers believe that a lot of the Irish are from the tribe of Benjamin, is because they ended up into the West Indies the first go around. And then the potato famine, which was definitely engineered by the English Parliament. All right, and it is a way of killing off a lot of Irish for that land. All right, I think to this day the population of Ireland still hasn't recovered back to the same population that it once was before the potato famine. You can fact check me on that, because I know you're most likely watching this on a smart device where you can look that up. All right, you look up the population of Ireland before the potato famine and look at it now. Because that's when times got rough, and that's part of the curses. Cursed shalt thou be. I mean, let's see. Yeah, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shalt thou thy basket and thy store. Meaning you're going to be broke. If you're out in the country or you're trying to make a living in the city on that hustle, that city hustle. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of the sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. And when a lot of the Irish came over to America, escaping that potato famine, hey, guess what? They caught hell here, man. And it's not just the Irish. It was all, you look at the Sicilians coming over, during their immigration. They caught hell. They had to resort to gangs and stuff. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and the blasting, and with mildew, and these shall pursue thee until thou perish. And these curses, once again, let's go back to Ezekiel, were put on us just to make the Lord known who his chosen are. All right, so it says, I'll read it again, Ezekiel 39 and 23, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity. All right, because Israel didn't, want to follow the Lord and his commandments. All this stuff happened to us. It says, because they trespassed against me, therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemy. So fell they all by the sword. According to their uncleanliness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. All right. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob. All right. So he's going to take us out of captivity and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel. All right. Whether you think that you're Irish, whether you think you're Nigerian, all right, whether you think you're Asian, Polynesian, Micronesian, whatever, man, Indian, East Indian, Middle Eastern, Russian, it doesn't matter where the hell you are. If you're part of the house of Israel, the Lord's going to have mercy on you and will be jealous for my holy name. People are going to be jealous of you. And after that, they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. When I have brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and am sanctified in the sight of many nations, then shall they know that I am the Lord their God. All right, Israel's God, Israel's power, not every man, not all nations' power. All right, not all nations' God. It says, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. All right. It says, neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord God. All right. So he's only dealing with the Israelites. All right. And I already proved that in the curses, they're going to be scattered throughout all nations. And let's go to let's see, what do I want? I'll go to Numbers, because you are whatever your father is. And to prove that, let's just go to Numbers 1 and 8. Is it 1 and 8? Or is it 18? Yeah, Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, or lineage, the record of descent of an animal, showing it to be a purebred. Pedigrees also ancestry, descent, lineage, line, genealogy, family tree, extraction, diversion, origins, heritage. I don't like that one, percentage. After their families, by the house of their fathers. All right. So is their lineage by the house of their fathers. And when you go through a lineage, anybody's lineage in the Bible, it's always the son of, and then the father's name. And it might mention, who was born of this woman, but it's always going to have their father's name with that. It says that according to the numbers of their names from 20 years old and upward by their polls, because that was the age of, someone that could go into war. But yeah, that's how you determine an Israelite. Is, you look to what their father was. That's how the records were kept, who was an Israelite or not. But because of this diaspora, vain genealogies, it says this in Titus. No. Well, yeah. Titus 3 and 9. He says, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. And the reason why, we say, hey, DNA doesn't matter, you can't base this off of looks. You can't base this off of a DNA test, because most of those are wrong, because they take DNA from your mitochondria of your cell, and that's like 90%. You get your mitochondria from your mother, anyways, your maternal side. So it's most DNA tests are guesstimates anyway, And, right here it says, for they are unprofitable and vain. Excuse me. Unprofitable and vain. So, because I could try to, trace back my history or genealogy to so-called black men, but, that would take way too much time. I'd rather just prove it through the scriptures. All right. And, and, it might take way longer to do, because I don't know how far it goes back to, get to an Israelite, because a lot of history has been destroyed. All right. Has been whitewashed. So that's why it's unprofitable and vain. Let's see. What else do I want to? Let's get Genesis. It's like nations of nations. Slack it. Bear with me for 1 second. 35 and 11. That's what it was. This is Genesis 35, and I'll start at 10. It says, And the Most High said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel. But Israel shall be thy name, and he called his name Israel. Jacob means a supplanter or a replacer. That's why when Jacob and Esau were born, it's prophesied that Jacob, the youngest, shall be stronger, and the oldest shall serve the younger. But Esau has the blessing to inherit the fatness of the earth, but ultimately Jacob was given that blessing to have that eternal kingdom. And he's gonna, he grabbed onto the heel, and he's gonna replace him. And Israel meaning Prince of the Power. All right, he was that chosen one to receive, the power of, under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Verse 11, it says, Now, and the Most High said unto him, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. All right, it says a nation and a company of nations. So Israel, became a nation and a company of nations. So what does that mean? It's a nation because all their father's lineage, wherever they are, they all go back to one man, and that's one nation. But because they're so fruitful and multiply so much, they are a company of nations. Now, when you look at the 12 tribe sign, you can see all the different nations that it makes up of. On the right, Judah, the so-called Negroes; Benjamin, the West Indians; Levi, the Haitians; Simeon, Dominicans. See, these are all nations, but they make up one nation. That's what it means by a nation and a company of nations. And it's not just limited to these all on the right, because we've been scattered throughout the whole world. Like Sicily, Ireland. I mean, we're everywhere, man. Cambodia, Canada, But, I'll end it there. I know the Spirit is going to jump on other brothers to keep going with this, add points here and there. And I encourage brothers to do so. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom.